Hello, happy Wednesday evening. How is everyone tonight? I had a wonderful day. I hope you guys had a good day today. The weather was nice in Nebraska. It was baseball weather, but we didn't have a game, so kind of wasted that baseball weather. I'm just gonna get my iPad set up here. I'm not showing anybody is on. Oh, here we go. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. I know there's a lot of people excited. Okay, now I'm showing people on. There's a lot of people excited about this video tonight. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you're here. And I normally just jump right in, but because so many people have expressed the desire to see this video, I'm gonna stall just a tad bit. So I'll chat with you while you're here. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Heidi. Your little boy wants to play baseball. Well, I am baseball mom. Oops, there's a glare. It says I love being a baseball mom. And the most amazing player on the field calls me mom. I love this. This is my mug that my friend Suzanne got me. Hi, Terry. Hi, Casey. Thank you for joining. Hi, Pam. I see you up there. Out there in cyberspace. So awesome. I'm going to go ahead and just slowly back up here. You can see, oh, nuts. I just dropped something. Let me grab it. I'm going to need that in a little bit. I can only be so prepared. Something has to go wrong or I have to forget one thing every single time. That's what makes it crazy. So this is one of my shirts that I made for myself last season. My son's team color is blue. And we do have some other shades of blue in there, and we do some other colors as well. But so I just took this shirt, and I don't even remember where I bought the shirt, honestly. I'd have to look at the tag. But this is one of the designs that you could learn how to make in my class next week if you're a baseball mom. If you're not, you can make something else that's more appropriate for you. Hi, Pam. Trish is here. I'm stalling just a little bit to make sure that enough people jump on that want to see this video. This has been very popular. Hi, Georgie. Hi, Narelle. How are you? I hope I pronounced your name right, hun. I've seen you on Facebook for years, but I'm only guessing that's how you say your name. This is the wreath that hangs on my front door, and it has changed a little bit over time. I made this 5 years ago. My son's been out of high school for 5 years. He had a baseball-themed graduation party, and my husband grumbled every baseball that he drilled. He grumbled, all of those, and he left the mess for me all over the floor to clean up. So, you want to make shirts, but you don't have a heat press. Well, Casey, there is this thing called Printful, and I can show you how to save your file as an SVG so you can upload it there. But you know, I know the heat press is a kind of an investment, and if you're not sure you're going to, I'm glad I got your name right, Narelle. If you're not going to sell them, then you won't make your money back. But I promise you that once people can find out that you have a press, you'll be getting all kinds of orders. It's happened to me. It's happened to my friend Ashley. It's on here. It's happened to a lot of my friends. So, you know, no pressure about a heat press. But anyway, you can also take the design before we flip it and use it to cut out for wood signs. It's basically a basic class to show you how to use the text you have on your program and make it into a file that you can use. So, awesome. I'm stalling just a little bit. We've got just over 20 people, I think 21 people on now. And we're going to be making a wreath out of baseballs. And like I said, we probably, a couple weeks ago, we had maybe 500 baseballs in our living room because my husband runs the organization, and we have a tournament coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend that we host. And so we had all the baseballs for all the teams. You need a heat press just to keep up with your household. You know what, Heidi? I know a gal who, she doesn't sell her shirts, but they're that family that likes to have the shirts for the vacations and for the events like the fun run or someone's birthday, and she saves money by making her own shirts as opposed to buying them. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Carolyn. Where do you buy your heat? My heat press or heat transfer vinyl, mycraftsource.com. It is a local, well, not local to me, but it started out as a family shop, and I found them on Facebook, and they did sell the company. It got to be too much for their family, too much work. Go figure. But I buy the stretch vinyl, and I'll tell you why. Because look at this shirt. If you're curvy, you got to own it a little bit. But it can stretch a little bit. It's wrinkly a little bit because I don't fold my clothes. But this stretch vinyl is very forgiving. So if you buy those shirts that are dry fit, they're very stretchy too, and they don't pull and rip. Hi, Kim from Richmond, Virginia. Thank you for joining me tonight. What else is like? Oh, and also this shirt I have worn and washed several times. And I don't turn it inside out. I don't wash it in cold. I don't drip dry it. I treat it like every other piece of laundry. I've worn it on and off for over a year and washed it many times. So I really am impressed with the stretch vinyl. All right, Carolyn, I buy my heat transfer vinyl at mycraftsource.com, and it can be expensive. Oh yeah, forgetting to mirror is so frustrating. I used to put a Post-it note inside my cutting machine that says, please mirror. Now, if you have the Silhouette Cameo, it'll pop up a message and remind you to mirror. Oh, I'm glad you love your shirts from me, Pamela. She had me make her business logo on shirts and aprons, and I use the stretch vinyl on yours too, so you shouldn't have any trouble with it stretching. I mean, some of the vinyl, before I knew that there was stretch even out there, and maybe it wasn't out there, but some of that vinyl was just so heavy, and it reminded me of those shirts in the 80s when you went to the mall and you pick out your shirt and pick out the design and they press it on, and it was just really a thick design. I didn't like that feeling then. I don't like it now. So yeah, get the stretch vinyl. Yeah, I need stretch too. Can you tell? I'm like, ooh, I think the shirt shrunk since last year. Probably it was me. I don't know, but it. But I also wanted you to see the quality of it. I mean, they recommend you turn it inside out, wash it in cold, drip dry, and don't throw it in the dryer. I don't do any of that, and it comes out just fine. So. Awesome. Okay, I think we can go ahead and slowly get into the craft. This is the baseball wreath I made for my son's graduation. I did recently change out the middle. I updated it, and I updated the bow, made it look a little prettier. And this bow is kind of 4th of July-ish, because this will hang on my front door now until the end of summer. So it kind of, you know, matches. You got a Donna Marie Osmond shirts like that. Yeah, I had one from the movie Grease. And my dad loved to tell me, hey, you have grease all over your shirt. He was so funny. Awesome. So what you need in order to make this wreath are just a few things. You need 14 baseballs, a wire hanger, and a drill with a drill bit that's pretty big. And sometimes you can't see really well. This one is, I think, I measured it last time. I think it was 3 1/4 from the bottom to the top. And hi Marie, I'm glad you're here, hun. Do you buy it by the roll? I do not. I have before. This is 3 1/2 inches. I buy the 12 by 15 inch sheets of heat transfer vinyl. If you buy more than 15 from mycraftsource.com, then you get a discount. You do have to pay shipping, and keep in mind the shipping's the same. Oh, I had the box. I took it upstairs to the recycle bin. It's the same price no matter how much you can cram in that box. So what I do is I wait until I really need it. I keep a tally of what I'm running low on. I always keep on hand white vinyl, black vinyl, red vinyl, and royal blue vinyl, because those are the colors that I use the most. I use the blue because it's our baseball color. That might not be a popular color for someone else. And when I start running low, or if somebody has a shirt order, I did some other shirts for Bumblebee, was it Bumblebee Bumblebee Craft Shop for her shirts, and I used up all of the yellow I have, so that's on my list. I don't need it today, but the next time I order, I'll add that to the order so that I can get everything all for that one shipping price, and then it lowers your shipping cost per item. I have bought the roll when my craft source was out, and I went to, I can't remember, I don't remember the other company, and it came in a roll. And I had to, you can use pink all the time, I had to cut it all, it was a 15-inch wide roll. So I had to cut it into strips, similar to how I cut down my stencil material. But the problem is that I read the cutting mat wrong, you know, that self-healing mat, and I cut them 11 inches wide instead of 12 inches wide. I wasted so much vinyl because all of my designs are saved, formatted for a 12-inch design. So that was frustrating. You have the cameo, but it does not remind me. Carolyn, you might need to update. Since when I updated last, I think it was July, to the 4 point whatever version, it now pops up when you put in either anything heat transfer, it'll pop up when you hit send, a message to say, do you want to mirror it or do you want it to cut as is? So, hi Jennifer, thanks for joining us, and Sherry's here, awesome. Okay, so we're stalling a little bit talking about vinyl. This is stretch vinyl that I used on this shirt here, and again, I've been wearing this shirt on and off for over a year, and I don't wash it any special way. I throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. The manufacturer will have their own recommendations for the vinyl. I don't read directions, but I can also tell people, you know, this is the recommended way to wash it and care for it, but this is what it'll look like if you don't, so it's a win-win. You ordered the heat press and cameo along with a few other things. Awesome! Awesome, Maria. I can't wait. Let me see the rest of your comment here. Oh, whoops. We don't want to report your comment. We want to read it. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's scary at first, but Maria, I promise you, as soon as people realize you have a heat press and you can make shirts, you'll be making shirts. You'll have that puppy paid back in no time. I get my vinyl at mycraftsource.com. And in case you can't find it or forget, on my blog, on my website, there's a button if you got the message to click the website, go to blog, and I have a whole blog post about heat press. I would have linked that one there if I would have known we were going to do this much detailed talking. But it has everything that I like in there. I'm pretty sure my craft source in there is, maybe it's not, and that might be one of my messages on the table that I didn't have time to fix. So I'm going to make a note of that. I'll double check it. My craft on the blog. Okay. I know I need like 5 assistants that'll work for like shirts. I have, you can use an iron. Hold on, I'm missing comments. Hi, Shirley. I can only stay for a bit. Okay, you can totally watch it on the replay, hun. Hi, Rita. Jennifer, you can use an iron, but you need a very, very firm thing to press it on, like your counter. And then I would even, if you have like a big cookie sheet, put your shirt on the cookie sheet, and then you have to press and hold that iron. Let's see, gotta go. Okay, Heidi, I will catch you later. I have the Cameo 2 and the Cameo 3. My Cameo 3 is my backup one, and the Cameo 2 is what I've been using. I will tell you, I do not like the auto blade. Both times I've tried it, it has cut through my material and into the mat. I mean, cut really far into the mat. So I just took the white auto blade out and put in a black ratchet blade where you have to turn it to the depth of blade that you want. So other people have used the auto blade just fine. I have not, I haven't test cut it on the Cameo 3 yet. It takes me a while. I have to ease into change. Carolyn, thank you. The wreath is Carolyn, you make beautiful wreaths, I believe. You're from my wreath group, and this is the only kind of wreath I can make. So in order to make this wreath, like I said, you need a hanger, and you need 14 baseballs. And I have way more than 14 baseballs that are not brand new and look like this in my house. At one point, I think we had 14 in my husband's car on the floorboard and the front passenger seat. I'm looking down going, who carries 14 used baseballs in their front seat of their car? You know, it was crazy. I took a picture of it. This was years ago because I took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook, but we don't have that car anymore, so it's been a while. But anyway, so here's what we're gonna make. I will tell you too that originally I just had a paper banner in here with a I think it was an image of a catcher on there, like a silhouette of a catcher, because my son is a catcher, was a catcher. This time I had painted this wood sign and I wired it into the wreath, but it's not very big. So for today, I have one that's a little bit bigger that we'll make, and it'll look better. So, all right. I don't have a good place to hang this guy where you can see him because it's kind of heavy. Wait, maybe I do. Maybe he'll rest right there. Woo, look at me. Now I have to make sure I don't block it. All right, so I tried to drill through a baseball last week, and the blade that we have just wasn't doing it. And I didn't know if it wasn't long enough or if it just maybe was dull. I really wasn't sure. So I went on one of my many trips to Home Depot, and I picked up this blade combo pack. It's a titanium blade, and I figured since it's for my Ryobi, it might be a better fit. Hey, Rhonda, thank you. Rhonda, this will be the only time you see me make a wreath that I can imagine that I will. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And if any of you think somebody you know would like this video, would maybe like to make a wreath, go ahead and share it out. Or if you want to save it, here we go. I'm like, where did my balls go? For yourself, you can save it to your page and come back later. So I've already drilled some balls because I didn't want to take too much of our time drilling. But this is a titanium blade, 3.5 inches in my drill. You have to make sure though that it's going in righty-tighty, because as you watch me do it, you go up and down. So, but it won't go in if it's twisting the wrong way. Been there, done that. Your twin boys, your twins boys played baseball. Wow. And you played from 5 to 20. Wow. Yeah. Oh, how fun, Shirley. I hope someday I get a grandson that will play baseball. My boys are 28 and 23 and 12. So the 12-year-old is the only one left playing baseball right now. And the 23-year-old helps coach his team. So, but what I do is I just take this baseball and I look for the dirtiest of the side, you know, which side's dirtier. This one's pretty equal. And I drill through the dirty side because the non-dirty side is what is going to show on your wreath. So, and then, can you see my hands? Yes, I think you can. I see a lot of comments on my thing covering up my hands. So if the comments are in the way, just swipe and they'll go up to the other side. So I'm just going to center it as best I can. It's important to get a really good grip on the baseball because it will spin if you don't. And you'll probably see me do that a couple times because I forget. And then I'm going to go in maybe an inch or two and then bring it back out. Now, I'll tell you, it's harder for me to do it up this high, so I might have to take one of these boxes off. And make sure you grip it really, really hard when it goes the other way. And can you see it's pulling out some of the cork from the center of the ball. We're going to go in again. And then bring it back out. So I'm not quite all the way to the bottom yet. Whoops. Got to hold that ball tight. I bet you do miss it, Shirley. I have a friend, this is her first year of No More Baseball Mom. Her youngest child is in college and he's not playing baseball in college. And she's like, I miss it so much. We've only had 2 games though this year because it's been so cold. Okay, this one should go all the way through, and I don't want it to drill into my box, so I'm going to lift it up as I get down there. And then I hold it this way because I feel like I can hold it better. And get it all the way through. And then again, hold it really tight and pull it out. And then what I did was I just drilled in and out a couple times to get some of this cork out, because it's going to come out when I put the wreath together if I don't do it now. All right, easy peasy, right? That's how much junk was in that ball that came out. Okay, I need to do 4 more. That was my 10th one. 4 more to go, so we'll get to see it again. Oh yeah, this one's dirty. All right, here we go. Oops. I need to turn it the other way. Here we go. It's shaking my table. I'm afraid my iPad's gonna fall over. Got a little impatient. Did this one in 2 tries. And the first one that I did took me forever. This one, or the more I do, the easier it seems to go. The better it seems to go. All right, here we go. I feel like I need to give you a warning like when you're at the dentist. I think my son's out there crying a little bit because I'm killing his baseballs. And it kind of smells like rubber. Two more to go. Does anyone have any questions? My arms are getting sore. Thanks for hopping on. We're making a wreath out of baseballs. You know, Pamela, I'm trying to hit in the same spot every time. And I'll show you. That's a good question. I'm trying to drill right in the middle of one of these little, I don't know what you call that. I mean, it'd be here or here. So I just try to go so that they're about the same. Thank you, Jennifer. I had to, I did some, this is like my 3rd batch because it's a lot of upper body strength and yeah, I don't have that. I did from lifting kids for 22 years, but I think I've lost a little bit of that. Hi, Patty. All the way from California. Oh my gosh, you probably have great weather. And you have the 42106 version business edition. All right, Carolyn. Well, all I can say is if you take my class next Wednesday, I can help you, but I can't share my screen right now. So, but or I can try to help you later. But are you cutting it on the correct setting? I'm wondering if you're cutting it on heat press vinyl, it should prompt you to check and see if it's flipped. Like right after you hit send and before it cuts, you have to hit one more button. All right, this is my last one. Do you know who made the cuff bracelets? You know, Jennifer, I don't know who makes those. I know I've seen those because you're going to be shocked. I'm on a baseball mom page and a baseball mom marketplace. I've seen them all over. I have taken one of these apart, well, several of them apart, and made flowers out of these little shapes. But I also take DMC floss and then re-stitch around them. But I think all you'd have to do is you use that and then somehow attach you a clasp. You're on the Central Coast. You're in California. You know what, Jennifer? You're probably, it's what, like, is it 6:15 for you or 7:15 for you? It's 8:15 for me. I can't keep all the time zones correct. All right, here goes our last one. Go in about halfway and then I pull out some of the junk. Woo, hello. Oh, you saw them on, okay. Okay, I switch my grip to get it down through the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back in and try to grab some more of that rubber from the core of the baseball. Because it's going to come out either now or when I put it on the wire. Okay, so you guys have daylight savings time too then. Or is it 2 hours some of the time? I don't know, I can't keep track. All right. So I have 14 baseballs. They're all drilled. These are the ones that I did before. I brought one extra in just in case something happened and I didn't want to have to run out of the room. And then I have these here. So put them all in one place. This one is waterlogged, Tanner informed me. And the inside of it was brown instead of black. Isn't that weird? Okay, so this part here is a little tricky. So you take a wire hanger and you need to, first of all, undo the top where it's twisted around. And depending on how long you've had the hanger, sometimes they really don't want to come apart. But this one actually isn't too bad. Okay, so this hanger is going to be your wire. If you don't have a wire hanger, because not many, you know, we don't, I don't know, maybe if you go to the dry cleaner, you get stuff on wire hanger. We don't do that anymore. But, because we don't have to dress up like that anymore. So I'm just, you could probably use a thicker gauge wire instead. Now I'm just kind of straightening this out a little bit. You're going to use the entire hanger, unless you want to try to make a smaller wreath. You can trim off the top. So like this curvy part here, I'm going to straighten it out. I'm not too worried about the one that's twisted round and round because it'll still fit through that baseball. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we're going to bend it anyway. Okay. So then all you do is start putting your baseballs on here. The tail end is over there causing trouble. Okay, it's easier than it sounds, or it's harder than it seems. There we go. And it will push some more of that, the rubber shavings off, so don't be surprised by that. Hi Peggy, thanks for joining us. I just drilled holes in baseballs and now we're going to put them on a wire hanger that I've taken apart. it doesn't go the first way, try it the second way. And the hardest part is getting it over that first part because that has that little part where it was wrapped around the other end of the hanger. There we go. And I can see I did not drill perfectly. This one is a little bit, the wire goes, or the hole goes through here, not here, but that's okay. Let's get that out of the way there. Okay, so now I've got these 4 here. I need to move them on down the line. But there's a bend over here where the bottom of the hanger was, so you got to kind of get past that little bend. Yeah, this stuff's going everywhere. Totally worth it though. Grab a drink quick. So, do we have any baseball moms watching? My son is 12 and plays, we play USSSA baseball in Nebraska. Woo. And one of the teams that we played against last week, we know some of the kids on that team, and they're actually in a lot of Little League tournaments. They're trying to qualify to play in the Little League World Series, which is kind of weird because we don't play by Little League rules in Nebraska. We can lead off and steal, and I don't know what the other rules are, but you want to make one for your dad? Oh, he'll love it. Okay. Oops, I'm sorry, Jen. I wonder if an awl. You know what? It probably would. It probably would. Like I said, I had to. Well, I stole my husband's drill bit. It didn't work, so I had to go buy my own. You're an LA Dodger baseball fan, and you were a basketball mom. Very nice. All 3 of my boys played baseball. My oldest son played lacrosse 1 year. He tried football in junior high, didn't really like it. And played basketball a couple times. It wasn't his sport. Whoops. My middle son played tennis, baseball, and they have a bowling league through school, so he bowled in the winter. He really liked that. He didn't want to get hurt playing football. Okay, there's another bend. I'm just going to move this on down, and then I'll back up so you can see what I'm doing. You're a baseball grandma now. Oh, nice. You're in California. You guys play like year-round in Oh, they play in. Oh, they're in Kansas. Okay. The Game Changer app. I love that app. I love Game Changer because then I don't have to ask what the score is 50 times during the game. I don't have to ask when the next game or practice are. I love Game Changer. Your cousin was an All-American in high school. Very nice. So my in-laws are at every single game. My husband is an only child and he played baseball. And so they go wherever we go. If we go out of town, they come with us. Come on, come on. There we go. Now this one hardly had any junk fall out. Isn't that weird? Hey, Carol. Yeah, I don't know. Baseball it's been our life for, I think I counted up. My oldest is 27 and he started playing when he was 9. So is that 18 years I've been a baseball mom and coach's wife. And in some form or another, either select ball or high school ball or both. I was lucky enough, I wanted my kids 2 years apart, like, you know, two years. And it didn't work out that way. They're 5 years apart and 11 years apart. And now that I see some of my friends who have kids that are 2 years apart and they have 3 or 4 and they're all playing sports, I'm really grateful it didn't work out that way for me. Because they have to, you know, take turns and just kind of, oh, your folks did that too, Jennifer? And you know what, it is so nice. It's nice. They go out of town with us. We're going to Cooperstown this summer, and they're going with us. And so the coaches and the players stay in the barracks. And so that leaves me without anywhere to stay. So my in-laws and I are renting a little house. And that would be better. I'm going to set this on the table. That to me would be better than trying to bunk with some other family. I would just feel like I was in the way, you know. You went to Kansas last summer and was able to go to 19 games. Wow. What is the name of his team, Patty? Is it Patty? I really should put my glasses on, but I don't. Plus City League. See, we don't have a city league. We don't have, because some places have what they call rec ball and travel ball. Where we're from, rec ball is for the kids that are first starting out in baseball, or maybe they just they don't want to play travel ball. You have to try out for travel ball. We call it select ball here, but it's travel ball. And then how you travel and what you do is up to the team. But yeah, because people are like, well, he's got a rec ball game or a rec ball and a travel ball game. We don't know which game to go to. I'm thinking, why are you playing on two teams? But it might be the way it's all worked out. Safe Valley from Fort Scott, Kansas. I don't know that I've heard of Safe Valley, but we don't go to Kansas City much anymore. We used to with my older boys, and now Des Moines is the place to go. And Des Moines is about the same distance from us, just a different direction. But a lot of our major teams will go down to Kansas City and get their butts whooped. Because I think a lot of teams from the South come up that far. And our season's pretty short. I mean, we start April. Most teams start at the beginning of April, and then we're done by 4th of July. Our state tournaments here are in 4th of July, and not all the teams do a national. So we'll go usually the week. There's a week in between state and nationals that we go. And last year we went to Wisconsin. Okay, I only have 2 left to go. It's like beating a big necklace. Okay, get in there. Come on. All right, so this is not going to be enough at the top here. I need a little bit more of this wire here, and we have one more ball to put on. So I'm just going to try to scooch these down a little bit and then pop that last ball on this side over here. We don't do Little League here, no. We play USSSA baseball, whatever that means. But our kids can lead off and steal once they get to age 9. At age 8, they cannot lead off, and they can't steal until the ball passes the home plate on the pitch. Otherwise, at that age, it'd be like merry-go-round. And I know there's some other rules too that are different. And every time we watch the Little League World Series, we kind of giggle because the size field that they play on is what our 8 and 9-year-olds play on. It's a 200-foot fence. Our 12-year-olds play on a much bigger field. But if we had the chance to play on TV, we would jump at that. Come on. I need a bigger work surface. Come on, guys. I'm afraid to let go of this end because it's going to go flying. There we go. Got to have a little patience. Pony ball in California, is that where you can lead off and steal? Is that what you mean? Yes, I do have an extra ball, but I didn't drill it. This one has a hole in it. The extra ball is over there. We always have extra baseballs here. In fact, one of my centerpieces upstairs is a really long, skinny box filled with baseballs. It's on my dining room table. We have our, hi, Mabel from Kentucky. Thanks for joining us. So pony ball and select ball, USSA are the same. Cool. My husband runs our organization, and whenever we have a tournament coming up, we have a coaches meeting at our house because all of the trophies and baseballs are here. So that's my centerpiece for the room that we have the meeting. It just makes perfect sense. Can you stay there? All right, I'm putting the last guy on. And of course, this one was the top of the hanger that curved around. So there we go. All right, so you've got about, if I had to measure, maybe 2 inches and then 2.5 to 3 inches on the other side. And then this is where you're going to twist them around. I didn't grab my needle nose pliers. That might have helped. It's helpful to lay it down. I don't remember how I did it last time. I'd have to look. I'm just wrapping one around this one here standing straight up, and I'm just wrapping the other one around it. Be careful not to poke yourself because it will hurt. Okay. Now I think this hanger in here is a little bit thicker because this one feels sturdier, but that's okay. We're going to put that sign that we make in there and it'll hold its shape a little bit. All right, so I'm going to peek and see what I did on this one. Okay, yeah, I just twisted it and laid it down. This one's longer than the other one was, so I'm going to probably cut off the ends a little bit, but I want to make sure that it's on there good and tight. And it seems to be. So I just have some wire cutters. And I always like bite down with my teeth when I cut it. I don't know why. There we go. So it's sticking up like this. And you can try, what I did with that one is I tried to bend it down, but we're going to cover it up with the bow. So it shouldn't scratch your door. It doesn't want to bend. All right. So like I said, you could use a different wire if you want. I worried that this hanger was going to be too thin. And the worst thing that happens is if it is, I have a wire that I use when I make door hangers. It's a little bit thicker than that hanger even, that I can use if I don't like the look of it when I'm done. But I'm going to keep going because, I don't know, we need to keep going. So here's the wreath. I'm going to set the wreath aside for a minute, and I'm going to, we're going to make a little sign to put in the middle. Now I did order a baseball sign, but it's not here yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and make one. I'm going to use the baby white method to stain this board, and I am going to use the lighter of the two browns because it reminds me of the color of a wood baseball bat. You can use whatever color you want. You don't have to use brown. You can use the color of the team that you like. You can leave it like this if you like. But I wanted to do a little painting technique. So the baby white method, if you haven't seen it before, I'm just trying to be careful where I put these because I've got that rubber stuff all over. Oh. There we go. So you just get some paint, and this is acrylic paint, nothing special. Somebody suggested to do it in chalk. I got some brown chalk, what is it, not chalk, but wax. I'm going to try that another time because I'm curious. But what we're doing is we're just going to wipe it on, and whatever the liquid is in the wet wipe will water it down, so it's kind of like watered down paint. But I'm going to get the sides done first because it's easier to have those done when you have something not painted to hang on to. Learned that one the hard way, long time ago. And then the cut edge is always tricky because it's not smooth. And then you get paint everywhere. If you don't like getting your hands dirty, you can use gloves. Wear gloves, I guess. Use them. I don't like wearing gloves because my hands get too hot. And so what this does also that stain doesn't do is it dries really quick and it doesn't smell bad. I don't like stain. I don't like the way it smells. And I'm always paranoid that the rags or whatever I'm using, paper towels, will spontaneously combust and burn up my craft studio, and that would be really bad. Hi Shannon, thank you for sharing. Oh, I love baseball moms. You know, the first year that my oldest son played baseball, we didn't live in this town. We lived in a neighboring town. And our son didn't make the team over there. So we came to the tryouts over here, right? And we didn't know that there was one organization here and somebody's kid didn't make it. They got mad and they started a second one. Has that ever happened? Oh, you're gonna make her wreath nice. Hi Kim, thanks for coming on. So from the shoots, my son made that team and the other team didn't like anybody from the new team. So my first experience with select baseball was not that great. And it was very competitive and it was just ridiculous. And it was mostly the parents. The kids were all friends. It was really strange. But we were the outcasts, our team was, whatever. But when we were 10, we qualified for nationals down in South Haven, Mississippi. And that was the first time in my life that I met baseball moms that were wonderful, sweet, nice people, didn't care what team you were on or who was winning. And that's when I finally started to embrace being a baseball mom. You know, people would come up to you and ask, oh, where'd you get your shoes? Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get your cool hat? It was just really a whole different experience for me. And that's when I started to get it. Because I didn't grow up, my older brother played baseball, like rec ball season, 6 weeks, on Saturdays only, and we were at the lake all day Sunday, every week. You know, we didn't have the same lifestyle that my boys have. Everything was closed on Sunday back then. Not everything. So, all right, so this is what it looks like with this stain on it, with the baby wipe stain. The back looks like this, the front looks like this. And we're gonna set it aside for a couple minutes and it'll be dry. So I cut out, I'm making the same sign that's on this one, and I cut it out on my silhouette, and I used Mask 813 stencil vinyl. And it's funny because I love the Cricut tools, but I prefer the silhouette for everything else. You gotta go with what you gotta go with, right? Okay, so let's... And I got a new light back there, which is amazing, and it makes my face look so much younger. I love it. But if I wear my glasses, then you can see the light in my glasses. Patty, yes, I did make my shirt, and I'm wearing it for a couple of reasons. One, because, you know, this is my baseball mama. I think I'm crooked. I think it fit better last year, but we're not going to worry about that part. But I also, I've washed it and worn it several times. And this is using that stretch vinyl that I talk about all the time. And it really, you don't have to wash it inside out, cold water only, and hang it to dry. Hi, Hannah, thanks for popping on. You missed me drilling. I drilled through only 5 baseballs live, but I drilled through these balls and put them on a hanger We're gonna decorate this wreath to look like this one. But also, my class that's coming up next week, I'm gonna show people how they can make their own designs and they can use them for a shirt. So, if you're interested in that, there was a button if you got my notification. If not, I can drop a link in afterwards. But I use a Silhouette Cameo. It's very similar to a Cricut machine or a Cricut design space. Can we need to get stretch vinyl? Yes, stretch vinyl. Stretch vinyl is the way to go. The other vinyl, if you remember back in the 80s, and I don't know, you might be too young, I don't know. But you'd go to the mall and you'd pick out your design from the wall and pick out the shirt you want and they would press it on. And it felt like you were wearing like cardboard on your shirt. That's, to me, regular like they call it the Easy Weed vinyl. I don't like it, it's so thick. But not every color comes in the stretch. I mean, all the popular colors do, they're getting better. But some of the trendy colors just aren't there yet. So I cringe when someone wants teal because I have not found stretch in teal yet. I keep watching for it. All right, so our stencil says no place like home and home plate. Gotta get the A off my finger. And I have my transfer tape here. And this, I have a blog post up about all my favorite tools, and I included, oh, thank you. I've included a link to where I get this. I get it on Amazon, and I never remember even the company name because I just hit reorder every time. So if you, whoopsie, I'm getting some of the guts of the baseballs on here, but it's okay. We're flexible like that. We'll just put it at the bottom. Well, it's all over. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And basically what you do, this is kind of like clear contact paper. You're going to use this, and it's going to pull the blue stencil right off the backing. Excuse me. I talk too much, and then my throat goes dry. This is my baseball, one of my baseball mom cups. I prefer my big one that has a lid and a straw when I go to the games, but this one's good too. Okay, so now we've got two parts to our stencil. The back of this Aura Mask stencil material has a grid on it. It's hard to see with the glare from the light, but it helps me cut it in a straight line. It doesn't have to be in a straight line, but I find it's just easier centering it and placing it on your project if it's a straight line on this side. Oh, there, I'm missing a pair of scissors. I have 3 pair of scissors on this table. I have like 10 more. Okay, so this board here looked like this. We took some brown paint and a wet wipe and wiped it on. It's still a little damp, so we'll have to stall just a little bit before I put the stencil on, because the stencil does not want to stick to anything that's wet. I get my stretch vinyl at mycraftsource.com, but you can find it other places. But it's, I mean, it's stretchy. It's stretchy and it holds its shape. Some other of the non-stretchy, if you pull it too hard, or if, you know, maybe your little kid's tugging on your shirt, it could pop in the little small places. I also, on a design like this, it has little tiny skinny wispy lines. I thicken them up before I put them on a shirt because experience. Those thinner lines can break even with stretch if you pull them apart. Okay, for those of you that came on a little bit late, this is the original wreath that I made about 5 years ago for my son's high school graduation party. He was a ball player, and I recently added this and the bow. I had just a burlap bow on there, and I made a paper banner flag for the middle with a catcher on it because he was a catcher. And then that came off, and it was just this sad, sorry bow. And this is on our front door the whole year except for Easter and Christmas. And yeah, so I decided to put more of a 4th of July, Memorial Day kind of bow on it because it'll be on my front door. Now that Easter's down, it'll be on there until fall because we just don't have time during baseball to worry about the front door. As long as it's shut when we leave, we're good. So we took 14 baseballs against my son's wishes, and this 3.5-inch drill bit that is a titanium one. The one I was trying to use was a silver color. I honestly don't know what it was made out of, but it did not go through the baseball at all. It went in and it wouldn't go all the way through. So does anybody want to, I have one extra ball. Do you want to see me drill through it? Because I know we have a few that came on a little late. Is that a yes? Throw a heart up if you want me to drill through another baseball. If not, I'll just keep talking because I can do that. Your shirt says Baseball Mom Life. Yes, it does. Yes, please. Okay. It does. And you know what? If you're not a baseball mom, you can put whatever you want on your shirt. I have, there's a company called, I think it's called Boy Mom, and they have a lot of shirts for moms of boys. And I bought a shirt from them, and I also have a license plate cover that says, Boy Mom, Messy, Blessed Life. And I just love that. Hi, Jane. All right, Kelly. All right, Cindy. All right, so Kelly's got a lot more muscles in her arm than I have in my whole body. But I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is a baseball. It's an old baseball. You don't ever waste a new one, right? And you don't waste one that's been a home run ball or has an autograph on it because that's not cool. But I'm shooting for like right here in the center of this part of the baseball. Let's see if I get that straight. Right there. And I'm going to drill hopefully straight through. So I'm going to go through about a third to a halfway in and then pull it back out. So I'm going to reverse the spin and pull it out. And it's going to pull up some of that junk. And I'm going to grab, this is the plate I used before. All right, and then I'm going to go back in and out. I can sometimes get it in 2, sometimes in 3. That would make a great Christmas tree ball decorate. You know what else I want to do? Kelly, I just have to say to you, I joined a gym for the first time in my life in September, and I only go because my friend goes. And we've been going, except when there's no school, because her little kids can't stay home alone. And I even have gone without her. Today I went by myself, and I'm very proud of that. And 1 month from today, I will be 50. And never in my life have I put that as an important thing in my life until now. My godbrother plays baseball. Nice. Patty, I have a blog post at LoriApgarCreates.com called My Favorite Tools. And it's all of the tools that I use, and at the bottom is all my miscellaneous favorites. I'll try to drop a link in there. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. All right, we're going to drill. All right, I got to get up on my tippy toes because I need some leverage. Okay, then I'm going to pull it back out. It's going to pull some of that rubber out. You need to hold this ball really tight coming back out because it'll spin if you don't. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, then we're going to go back in. And then come back out. Okay, then this time to go all the way through, I hold it a little differently because I don't want it to go through, like if you're on your table or something, you don't want to drill through that. So, here we go. So I'm all the way through. I'm going to reverse it out. And then I go back in and out one time too to pull more of that stuff out. Yes, Jennifer, there is a certain, oh, I'm just a pup. You're so sweet. I was really having a hard time with it, a little bit. Most of my classmates have already turned, so I'm one of the last ones of my bunch. But you know what? It is what it is, so we're just going to embrace it. The drill bit that I'm using is, I went ahead, because I have Ryobi toy tools, and I mean, I'm not an affiliate for them or anything. I just really like them, and I like that the batteries, I have like 4 of these batteries and a big battery charger. I've got a sander, I've got this, I've got my little staple gun thing. It's kind of like a nail gun, but it staples. And we have a little saw upstairs and something else. And so I just bought the Ryobi brand of drill bits, and these are titanium. See, here's me at the, hi Suzanne, here's me at the hardware store. It took me a while to realize that all the screws are separated by, you know, cement wall, you know, concrete screws, whatever, drywall screws, wood screws. Okay, those are what I want. So I really had to pay attention, because I'm like, I don't know. But this is titanium. It's a 3.5 inch long blade, so it fits through the whole baseball. The other one was the same length. It might have been a little skinnier, but it just, I don't think I think the titanium really makes a difference. Yeah, it sure beats the alternate. That's right, Suzanne. And Suzanne was knocking on the door last year, and we're so glad that she's right here with us. So, awesome. It was okay if 50, 60 got me. Patty, do you know a secret? Mind over matter. I was okay with 40. I had a really hard time with 30. And my mom died when she was 46, so I kept thinking, my life is over, half over. My life is over. And I'm like, you're not your mom. You're not your mom. Suck it up. And it took my son to tell me that his friend's mom wasn't sad, and she's older than I am. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop talking about it. But 40 didn't bother me at all. Isn't that weird? And some of my friends made fun of me when I was really having struggles with 30. And then my one friend, when she turned 39, she started freaking out. And she called me and apologized for giving me such a hard time. Oh, 3 kids in sports, so you're planning. Awesome, Jennifer. Great. All right. This is still a little wet. I think I could probably get the home plate on there okay. So we're making a sign like this one to put in the wreath. I did order a sign from a fellow wreath maker, but I knew it wouldn't get here in time. So if I don't like the way this looks, I can swap it out. So I have a home plate here, and I want to put it in the center of my board. So good thing I have something handy to show me the center. I usually don't. 5.5. Ooh, I was almost there. Perfect. I'm also very known for, if I don't have a ruler, I just grab anything that's straight, like a pencil or one of my tools, and I just measure from the handle or whatever. Because, you know, it's all good. Jenna, oh, you know what? I have a second one. I only need one. This is my second one. Whoops. Oh, be careful. It'll hit you in the head if you're not careful. This one, the wire hanger is not as thick as the one. I think they don't make them that thick anymore. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to stencil on or paint on the home plate. And this side over here just has a little bit of the stencil. So I'm going to take some of this transfer tape and kind of mask off this side so that I don't go crazy and miss and hit here on the wood. All right, so I've got, okay, I'm like, I've got white paint somewhere right in front of my nose. And I'm just gonna put, I don't need a lot. This is just acrylic paint. Honestly, when I'm making signs, I just use whatever paint I have, except for the base coat. I'm very picky on my base coat. It has to be Americana for my white and my black. Any other color, I just use what I have. I mean, that could be acrylic paint, it could be latex paint. I don't really care for flat paint because if you have to touch it up, it just layers up on top of each other. And that to me is, then it looks thicker and it's just, I don't like the look. Okay, less is more. Like, can you see me? Less is more on the sponge so it has a better chance of not seeping underneath your stencil. This is a fence board piece. It's not completely straight or flat at the top. So there is potential for that to go under. Shaking the whole table, knocking stuff over. It's a party. My son's out there doing something. I can hear it. And one day he asked me, what do you do on your videos anyway, Mom? I said, why don't you come in and see? No. He doesn't like to craft anymore. He did when he was little. I'm sorry, I'm missing comments. I'm actually following MS Game via oh, nice. Morningside, yes. Jenna is Suzanne's daughter, and her boyfriend go to Morningside College up in Sioux City, Iowa, and he plays baseball. And I do, Patty, I do throw my sponges away. My friend, if you do, my friend does paint classes, a lot of them, so she'll take the sponge and cut it in half, so you've got the top half and the bottom half, so you can double the use of the sponges. But they're pretty inexpensive. Sometimes I have to put a value on the time that it would take me to wash and reuse some stuff than to just... And people ask me all the time if I reuse this stencil material. Now this I could, because it's all one piece. And you'd have to store it somewhere or reuse it right away. And to me, because I buy it in bulk, it's not that expensive to just throw it away. So there's my home plate. We just have to wait a little bit for this to dry. This one here, all of the little inside pieces, like from the O and the P and the H and the E and the other O, those, when you pull your stencil off, those stay down on your project. So if you wanted to reuse it, you'd have to get all of those back up off the project and make sure they got back where you need them to go. And to me, that would take me way too long. But I have a friend who buys her stencils. She orders them off of Etsy, I believe, and so they're just one size, and they have the little bridges in them so that you don't lose the center of the letters or your design, and then you just have to fill those little gaps in. I prefer having the option of making the same size and whatever size I need, the same sign and whatever size I need. So, all right, we're gonna help it dry. Now, if I'm doing a paint party, I would bring my hair dryer, a couple hair dryers, and we would dry the layers in between so that my students don't have to wait too long. But I don't want to turn a hair dryer on. It was bad enough to turn the drill on because, you know, it's loud. Causing a breeze. All right, so we're going to give this a couple more minutes. And then I do have, for the bow, we'll make the bow last. I really like the, I'm going to say grapevine. That's the wrong word. Maybe it says on the packet. A burlap. I like burlap ribbon. And then I was going to put this baseball ribbon over top. Can you see that? It's hard to see with that glare. Maybe back here. But it just has different baseballs on it. The other baseball ribbon I got both of these from my friend who's a wreath maker. This one has the laces, and I like this one too, but it's the same size as the burlap. So I don't know, I'm undecided which one I want to use. Part of me wants to use a whole different ribbon, but I don't have a whole different ribbon that's gonna work, so we'll have to decide. Let me open these up while we're waiting. This is the part I'm not good at, is committing to a color or a ribbon when it's not for me. So if I use this one, you'd see you wouldn't really see the burlap, which I don't know that that's bad, but it kind of looks, I don't know, this is what I was afraid of, that both of them would kind of blend in too much with the ball. It would look better to have a solid color ribbon. But the best thing is we can always change our mind. This ribbon here, my friend gave it to me, and use all three of them. Oh, I might try that. I don't know where she got it. The brand on it is Expressions. It has a price tag on it, so she bought it somewhere, probably at a fabric store. I don't know. This one, if we use this one, I kind of like this look a little better because you can see there will be a divide between the real baseballs and the baseball ribbon. That light is so bright. So I kind of like that look a little better. I don't know how well you can see that. The ribbons on here, there's burlap behind it, and it's the same size, it's the same width. And it just kind of, you can't really see that it's burlap, but it's a different pattern, so I think it stands out a little bit more. And the reason I chose this ribbon for my wreath is because this will stay on through Memorial Day and 4th of July. And so it's not just baseball, it's the whole summer. There we go. All right, I think we're dry enough to finish this. But the ribbon is so pretty. I know, because our Michaels doesn't have a lot of pretty ribbon. Hobby Lobby doesn't have a lot of pretty ribbon. I mean, they have some nice basic ribbon, but not like the cool, beautiful ribbon. Okay, I'm just eyeballing this to center it. I'm much better at eyeballing than measuring. I'm going to cut the bottom of this off. So it's less to weed away, or to, I guess, peel away. And I like how you can see through that blue stencil. You can see exactly where that white home plate is, although it doesn't look white, it looks like light blue. But you can see through it enough. Craft Outlet online. Nice, Rachel. Thank you. And I know there's a place called Trendy Tree. I've never shopped at either of those places. But so Craft Outlet is the place to get ribbon. I appreciate that. And I don't know if she ordered it online or if she found it somewhere. Because she told me to let her know if I need more. She's that one friend that we do different crafts. So when I have something here that I don't use anymore that she can use, we just swap stuff all the time. And we don't really keep track. I'm trying to get her to take my silhouette class because she's had her machine for over a year and has not opened the box. Do you know anyone like that? It makes me sad because she's so crafty and creative and could be making so many things for her aprons or for her cards. She makes a lot of cards and banners. Not the same from them, but I'm sure you can get it elsewhere. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, come on. It's not wanting to stick because it's just a little bit wet. So I'm being very patient to try to get it to stay down. I'm not a very patient person, so this is kind of hard for me, but we can do it, we can do it. All right, here we go. Okay. Now, if one of those pieces that goes inside were to come up, not a big deal. We could take one of these tools. These are paint palettes. I actually got them in the fine art department at Michael's. But we could take one of these and position it back on there. If my stencil material tears a little bit, no problem. We just put it back where we want it, take some of this extra or some of our transfer tape and make a little band-aid and put it right over and cover up the tear. It's very cool. You got, oh, Cindy. Cindy. Now, I don't know, have you had a Cricut, is this your very first Cricut machine? They are very intimidating at first, but I promise you, once you get past the learning curve, it is so much fun. And how do I get past the learning curve? If you know anybody that has a Cricut, ask them to help you. I don't have one, so I can't really help you. This is called Aura Mask 813, and it's a stencil vinyl. You can, I get mine at US Cutter, but it is available at other places. Hi Victoria, how are you? So Cindy, this is your first one. There's a ton of YouTube videos. Just go to YouTube and put Cricut first time user, Cricut out of the box, something like that. And somebody will have made a YouTube video taking it out of the box, getting the blade where it needs to go, getting your settings fixed up. Hi Jan, thanks for popping on. All right, so we've got our stencil on, and I can tell it's not sticking really well, so I have to be very careful when I stencil the word home. We're doing home in red, and the words in black. I used to be a Cricut girl, but that was before Cricut Design Space. I had a Gypsy, and I did all my designing on this little handheld device, and I taught other people how to use it. I taught people how to use a Cricut machine, and then I didn't agree with some few things, and I left and went to Silhouette. But I got my Silhouette 3 months after my friend got hers. Without her help, I don't know that I would have stuck with it because it was so frustrating, and it was different from the Cricut. I like the Silhouette Studio a little bit better. There's just a few differences that I like better, but they're both good. They're both very similar. I had about 300 cartridges. And I still have my Gypsy, but I don't even know if it works anymore. It's kind of sad. Your Joanne's gives a class? Awesome. Yeah, I learned how to do a lot of stuff by watching YouTube videos in the beginning, and then once I figured out one thing, and then I did it a million times, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing, and I'd look for a video for that. It was very helpful. I do think the Cricut Maker looks amazing because you can cut thicker material in there. You can cut fabric, you can cut chipboard. That is the one downfall of the Silhouette Cameo, is it's very, doesn't have a lot of room in there. You can put vinyl or paper, and that's about it. All right, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate because I know that my stencil is not sticking. Well, we're just gonna, here we go. Being patient. Okay. Then we need a little bit of black. It's probably all we need. Good evening, Janice. Janice, I wonder, I don't know what's going on with yours, because you used to get my notifications and then all of a sudden it stopped. when we're done here, I put up a new post yesterday that if you go to that post and put in the word video, if you're not in my system for some reason, it should put you back in if you follow the directions. Hi, Tiffany, how are you? This is, okay, Tiffany is a wreath maker. This is my kind of wreath. This is the only wreath you'll probably ever see me make, unless it's a dare. I drilled through 14 baseballs. I'm making another one here. We did about 6 live, we drilled through 6 live, so if you want to see that, you can go back and watch the replay. It was kind of fun. You responded to it with video, but then once you got the message inside, did you answer the question with your favorite crafts? I'm going to write your name down and double check. Janice Brown. It's a robot, so it's not very smart. And if you don't talk back to it, and somebody answered all of their stuff in, or someone spelled video wrong, because that happens, so that didn't count. Okay, the center of my pea is it moved, so I'm trying to pick it up and move it back. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and stencil No Place Like Home. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Tiffany, I didn't know you were a baseball mom, too. You did Chocolate Tour. I saw you, Janice. I saw you in there. Okay. I don't know why you didn't get my message, but I'll look into it for you, okay? That is awesome. I love baseball. It's my life. This is a shirt I made for myself last year. I'm teaching a class next week. My first ever class online. I'm kind of nervous. And we're going to be designing a design that can be used on a shirt. But it's going to be fun. All right, I'm going really slow because this stencil isn't down super sticky because my paint wasn't 100% dry. It's not the end of the world. You just have to go slow, and I'm not good at going slow. Hi, Terry. Welcome. You get it from Damon all the time, and I don't know what is. I don't know, because Damon's the one that taught me how to do the bot. But you, at one time, were getting my messages. Is that true, right? You were getting them, and then all of a sudden it stopped. Because I didn't kick anybody off my bot. I don't know how to do that. He hasn't trained us how to do that yet. You know, last night it did tell me I had 100, and today it said I had 99. So you got them before. Okay. I will figure it out. Now, I do know that, I don't know if there's much I can do because of the Facebook stuff going on, but I'll do what I can. You've been touching up your sign the whole video because you didn't have patience. Oh, Lindsay. Lindsay. I know, because you get a little bit of white on the black, and then you get a little black on the white, and then you go back on the white on the black. I have a couple more. I need a little more work on one of those back there. And then I went to do another sign that's part of this big special order. And I went to peel the transfer tape, or peel the thing off the, I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to peel it off the back sheet so I could put it down on the sign. And it folded onto itself and stuck. So I had to cut out a whole new stencil. Oh, I love when that happens. All right, let's set that down. All right, the little pieces on the inside. Okay, I got a little bit of the black on the top of the L. Only I could do that. So I'm going to use a tiny little paintbrush to touch that up. You jinxed me, Lindsay. I had to put my glasses on for this too. Look, when I put my glasses on, all you can see is my light, my new ring light. It's so bright. I took a picture of myself the other day because I was checking the light and it looked good, so I posted it, and yeah, someone commented on it and I said, yeah, it took 10 years off my life. My new light. Okay. Gotta make sure the black's dry before I paint over it. And I get quiet when I concentrate. It's the only time I'm quiet. There we go. Yes, easy fix, see? Easy peasy. And bam, wow, we're done. I just need to pull the insides out. I should leave these on for this. I'm at that age where I can't see. I can see. If I put these on, I can't see my phone. If I don't put them on, I can't read the comments. So if I look up now, you're all blurry. And I don't like having my glasses on my nose, because then I feel like I'm 100. All right. All right, all the insides are out. There's no place like home. Oh, thanks for stopping in, Tiffany. I appreciate it. All right. So, then we need to figure out how to attach this to the wreath. Making sure that this is at the top. Well, I guess it doesn't matter until I attach it. But what I did with the other one is I drilled a hole in each corner, and then I took some wire and I tied it to the sign. We have to either, we'll probably have to go down a little below so we can get wire from each corner down through to the wire below. So what I did is I brought over, this is my plastic coated wire that I use when I put a wire on the back of a wood sign. And it'll hold up to 25 pounds. I don't think this is going to be 25 pounds. I think it'll work just fine. But I do need to change my blade or my drill bit because I don't need ginormous holes in this little wood sign. So I'm just going to pull this out. And use the, I think it's a 1/2 inch. Glasses might help. It's an 1/8 of an inch, or we have a 3/16. I think I used 3/16 last time. But I'm going to try this one instead. If it's too small, we can drill a bigger hole, right? If you've never used a drill before, someone said they needed some basic tool class. I'm not your tool girl, but let's see, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You just drop this in there in the center and then twist it to the right to tighten it up. Make sure it's down all the way and make sure it's straight when you're done. Because I put something in there and it didn't go because it wasn't all the way down. Okay, usually when I drill over a trash can, but since my trash can's down on the floor, you won't be able to see that. So I am going to find my little trash plate once again and just drill, whoops, I'm throwing stuff all over the place. I want this to sit up a little higher off the table. So I'm just going to grab this twine, all 500 feet of it. Don't go in the paint, please. Just so that I'm not right on there. I don't want to drill into my workspace. Okay, and we don't want to smear the freshly painted sign either. Okay, so I'm going to go in maybe a 1/2 inch from the corner. It needs to be close to the corner, but not too close. down when I'm drilling just a little bit. Maybe because I'm impatient, but you do need to give it a little bit of pressure. And then I always say reverse the blade. It's not a blade. To get it out. Whoops, not sideways. I have it the wrong way. When you have it the wrong way, it won't go through your board. There we go. All right, so I've got a hole in the you can see it better on the back maybe. And it kind of has a little bit of splinters on the back from where that came through. So I just have a little piece of sandpaper. I'm just going to sand that real quick. Because you don't want to get a splinter. And if this is not for you, if it's for a special order or to be sold somewhere else, you don't want someone else to get a splinter. It leaves kind of a bad taste in their mouth. Now also what I'm going to do is sand around the edges just to give it a little bit of a worn in look. It's awkward doing this. I'm trying not to get these little, I want to call them crumbs, sawdust all over, but oh well. Sometimes I'll use my electric sander, but I only use that outside because it makes a big mess. So it's got a little bit of a worn look around the edges. It doesn't look super brand new. This one, I did not do that too. So I wanted it to be just a little bit different. Okay. So you lay down your wreath. You know, I'm going to do it this way because I don't want to poke myself with the top of that. And you kind of figure out where you're going to hang it, where the wire is going to go through. And I'm going to cut 4 pieces and just have it all ready to go. My wire cutters are getting a little dull. I need to sharpen them up. Again, this is, it's called Super Soft Strand. I get this off of Amazon, and it's a coated wire, so it's easier to work with. Now, it will poke you on the end, so just because it's coated, don't let it trick you. Okay, so you just kind of put it through here. In here. I'm going to go ahead and attach the 2 bottom ones first, and then we'll go back and do the top 2. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how I did this last time because I don't think it was quite this difficult. I want to flip it over so you can see what I'm doing. without that thing poking me. Okay, so I flipped it over and I'm wrapping the wire in between two baseballs. And then I am going to, I think I just twisted it. I don't remember tying a knot. I think I just twisted it back and forth. Hey Cindy, how are you? It's a baseball grandma right there. All right, so I've got the bottom half on of the sign. Now we just need to secure, oh, that's scratchy. Don't do that. Doesn't feel good. This sign is, this one's a little bit short, and so it's kind of in between. I'm wondering if this would look better as opposed to outside the wreath, maybe inside in the back, because then you wouldn't see the wires. Let me just try that. I have a fear of commitment sometimes. Now the other thought that I had was to use the jute cord, but I just don't know how strong that is. I think too, Jan, I think it'd look better behind the wreath. Yes. This is how I figure things out. I do it and I'm like, nah, the other way's better. Okay. Much better. Let's see, I think I want to go this one right here. Two Jans agree. Awesome. All right. I like it much better. Jessica, no worries. I know, I am not a wreath maker. Not like many of my friends are. But if you want to go back and watch the replay, I started slow because I knew a lot of people were trying to catch me live, so you can fast forward through the boring parts. I'm one of the few non-wreath makers in the wreath maker group. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so I'm just going to gently tie this on them. I'm going to flip it over and tie it and tuck these things behind so they don't poke somebody. You're a softball grandma. Wow, Peggy. You could totally do this with softballs, but softballs are bigger than, well, that wasn't the blade I was using, or the softballs are fatter than baseballs, so you'd probably have to drill in and then drill in the other side. That, and you wouldn't need 14, you'd need fewer. It is always good to diversify. Okay, so this wire here, let's see. I want to tuck it around and then inside the wreath so I can trim it out. I just, especially if you're selling something, you don't want pokey things scratching their doors or scratching your customers. If it's for you, you don't want it scratching your door. Nice. So I'm just wrapping these around. This one I can't wrap around. There's a baseball in the way. Yes, I can. I'm going to tuck you to the middle. Okay. There we go. I forgot to bring my needle nose pliers over, so when I'm done, I'm just going to pinch them down. Hey, 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 let go of my baseball shirt. Yeah, I need to sharpen these guys. They are not cutting anything right now. I did a whole video on how to take care of your tools and how to sharpen everything, and I think it's time for me to revisit that video. Okay, I'll finish that part later. Okay. So we've got our sign on here. Now we need our bow. And I think I'm leaning towards the wider burlap with the skinnier baseball and do it all as one because tired of getting caught on the top of the hanger. The way I have it here, it's just a simple bow. I don't have a bow box. I don't have I don't have anything fancy because I make bows by hand. I don't know how to use the bow maker tools. They look very cool. So, no, I'll do that last. Okay, so I'm just going to unwind this a little bit. My mom taught me how to make a bow by hand, and that's the only way I know how to make one. So I just fold it back, twist it, fold it back, twist it so the pretty side's always out. And when you give it a pinch, it kind of flares out your ribbon a little bit. Tighter. So I've gone back and forth 2 times. I don't measure. I would be very bad at a wreath tutorial. And the last one's tricky because you have to twist it, make your center loop, and then twist it again so that your tail has the pretty side out. It doesn't want to twist. Come on. And then you twist this one forward so you've got 2 tails out. And I use a pipe cleaner. I have floral wire. Floral wire likes to pierce me. Oh, come All right, I think I have missed a few comments. I'll go back and grab them in just a second. I just slide this through where my finger is at. And I got me a ribbon, or a bow. And I cut all the tails together at a 45-degree angle. And there's a bow. And then I put that over here where the top is, where the top of the hanger is that keeps wanting to poke me. I need to trim that down a little bit too. But for now, I'm going to twist my ribbon right through that. So I have the pipe cleaner going around the very top piece. Hold that with my thumb, and then I'm just going to twist it. For me, I don't put another hanger on the back. I did it one time, I think. I made one out of wire for this one, but I just hang it in my wreath thing that hangs over the door. I think my bow might be too high. There we go. I'm not really sold on this bow, I'm not going to lie. And then what I did with the other one is I actually tucked it in where I had hooked the sign. So I either need smaller tails. The other one I just actually tucked in there, like so. And I could do that. I could make it go in there. I'm not 100% sure about this bow. Part of me thinks it would look better with something other than red and baseballs on it. Let's see, I'm turning it the wrong way. But for now, this is what she looks like. I'm going to go back and grab your comments. Softball, it's always good to diversify. Oh, that's okay, Janice. You can always catch the replay. Baseballs or softballs are pricey. Well, Jan, it depends. Thank you, Jessica. We have 1,000 baseballs in our garage because my husband's been coaching for 19 years. If you were to buy a dozen baseballs, you could get some cheapy ones from Walmart or somewhere else, then they're not that expensive. But ours are, they're not even good enough to be the practice balls. These are like whatever, that rolling around the back of the car. We always have baseballs wherever we go. We always have brand new ones because you just never know. As a coach, even at an away game, you need brand new baseballs to start every game. Thank you. And I don't know, what do you think about the ribbon colors? I think it needs a darker color, a pop of something different, like maybe red, or like my son's team colors are royal blue, is one of their main colors. I think that would look nice. But yeah, it is what it is. So have to make one. So cute. Oh, I'm glad. And I got the inspiration years ago from Pinterest, and that's how I learned how to make one. I just kind of followed their directions, and my husband was mad that I asked him to drill through 14 baseballs. I don't know how many softballs it would take to go around, because softballs are bigger, they're fatter. Yeah, I think it needs a dark ribbon on top too, Shirley. The ribbon like the one on behind me. Yeah, that one is, this is the one that's on my front door. And it'll stay up all summer. The red or blue. Okay, I agree, I agree. Have to make one so cute. Jan said don't. I'm not sure what hashtag don't meant. And softballs too. I mean, if you know anybody whose kid plays baseball or softball, they probably have some extra balls. Yes, that's right. That's very right. It can stay up all year long then, if it's patriotic. But like I said, I made a sign that had 2 flowers. So I needed 6. I needed 3 baseballs all cut apart, and then I stitched in the red stitching with red DMC floss and put 3 together to make a flower. And then I had someone request a softball one, so I asked a family that had a baseball player and a softball player, and they found some softballs for me. Okay, thanks, Jan. That's what I was assuming that was. Hashtag don't, you just never know what that means. Oh, that's funny. I crack myself up sometimes, and I love to make up hashtags. I just do. They don't make sense to anyone but me and maybe a person or two. So, but, all right, so I am going to check on Janice and see why she's not getting my messages. And I will drop in the comments a link to, someone was asking about where I find this and my stencil material. I can drop information about the, you have that in the message that went out, but I can drop information about the class. And if there's something else, leave me a message and I'll read through it and remember to link that up as well. So, but that's all I have for tonight. Tomorrow night we have baseball and the weather is supposed to be nice. Yay. And Friday night we're finally getting together for my oldest son's birthday for his dinner, because he was out of town last weekend and he was really busy during the week when he had his birthday. So it looks like we're probably going to get canceled this weekend. So depending on how it goes on Saturday, I might jump on Saturday night, might not. It just depends. And I will blast that out. And hopefully Janice, I'll figure out why you're not getting messages. That really bothers me. And kind of because I'm not techie and I don't know that I would know how to fix it. So, yeah, that's just weird. Because it's not that we don't want you here. That's not it at all. And the class, once again, I am teaching you how to use your machine, your software on whatever machine you use, because it's all similar, how to put a design together and utilize it on a shirt. Most of my people here heat press or want to do some form of heat pressing. But there's another group, my wreath maker friends, they don't have a Cricut machine because they make wreaths. All their tools are wreath making tools. And there's another thing you can do with the shirt designs. You can upload them to a company called Printful in a certain format, and then you can put them on their products and you can sell shirts that way too. So I can show you both ways on what to do when your design is done, what the next step is. So you guys have a great evening and a great Thursday and Friday. I don't want to trip because I got stuff all over the floor. And thank you again for tuning in.